be his father for a moment. Here's what no one's really talking about. Some of these records aren't just hard. They were shaped by fate and circumstance to feel untouchable. Yet Charlie isn't backing down. The way he's chasing this seemingly impossible mission is either the bravest thing in sports or the most heartbreaking setup we've ever seen. Which records can Charlie realistically reach? Which ones will follow him forever, impossible to claim? And is the pressure already starting to crack him under the weight of chasing ghosts? Let's be honest, Tiger Woods didn't just dominate golf. He shattered it and rebuilt it in his own image. 82 PGA Tour wins, tied with Sam Snead for the most ever. 15 major championships, second only to Jack Nicklaus's 18. But even those numbers don't fully capture just how untouchable Tiger's legacy really is. Buried within those massive totals are records so extreme, so dominant, that mathematicians and statisticians call them impossible to replicate in today's game. Charlie Woods, whether he asked for it or not, is being measured against every single one. Every time he steps on the course, every drive, every putt, the comparison machine kicks in. The expectations aren't just high. They're suffocating, unreasonable, and could crush a career before it even truly begins. One record alone makes golf historians shake their heads. Tiger Woods held all 4 major championship trophies at the same time, not in a single calendar year, which would have been the traditional Grand Slam, but across 2 seasons from 2000 to 2001. He won the U.S. Open, the Open Championship, and the PGA Championship in 2000, then captured the Masters in April 2001. For consecutive majors, the Tiger Slam. Nobody had ever done it before, nobody has come close since, and experts say it's a feat that likely will never be matched. Why is this record considered completely unbreakable? Modern golf is deeper, more competitive, and far less predictable than Tiger's era. Back then, Tiger was so dominant he could realistically enter every major as the favorite. Today, there are 15 to 20 players who could legitimately win any given major, and the gap between first and 15th has tightened dramatically. Courses are set up to challenge everyone, not favor one dominant ball striker, and the mental pressure of trying to hold 4 major trophies at once would be unbearable in the age of social media, where every shot is analyzed and every mistake is endlessly memed. For Charlie Woods to break this record, he wouldn't just need to be great. He'd need to surpass his father at his absolute peak. That might be the single most unrealistic expectation ever placed on a teenager in sports history. But that's not even the scariest record on the list. The one that truly terrifies anyone who follows golf statistics is Tiger's win percentage. Between 1999 and 2009, Tiger won nearly 30% of the tournaments he entered. Pause and think about that. Almost 1 out of every 3 tournaments ended with a Tiger Woods victory. In a sport where even the best players can go years without a win, Tiger was winning 3 times per season for an entire decade. Charlie Woods isn't just competing against other talented juniors or college players. He's being measured against a statistical anomaly that broke every probability model in professional sports. To match that win rate, Charlie would need to claim 30 PGA Tour victories by the time he's 30 while playing a full schedule. That's not just unlikely, it's nearly impossible, especially in the era of modern golf, where competition is deeper than ever. And here's where it gets even harsher for Charlie. Tiger achieved most of his dominance before equipment technology leveled the playing field. Today's drivers, golf balls, and training methods have made every player longer and more consistent. The gap between the best player and the 20th best has narrowed dramatically. To replicate what his father did, Charlie would have to be far better than everyone else, just to achieve the same results in a tougher, more competitive era. Then there's a record that golf fans debate endlessly. Tiger's streak of 142 consecutive cuts made on the PGA Tour from 1998 to 2005. That's 142 tournaments in a row where Tiger not only showed up, but played well enough to make the weekend. 7 years without missing a cut, never having an off week bad enough to go home early, never struggling so badly that he couldn't compete. It's a level of consistency that seems almost untouchable. The mental toughness needed to maintain that streak is almost unimaginable. Bad weather, tough course setups, injuries, personal challenges, none of it mattered. Tiger showed up and performed at a minimum competitive level every single time for 7 straight years. In today's game, where players carefully manage schedules and skip events to peak for majors. Even attempting that kind of consistency feels impossible. Charlie Woods is already under pressure that would overwhelm most teenagers. Now imagine adding the weight of a cut streak to that burden. One off week, one missed cut, and the streak is over. The comparison to his father's record would be immediate, harsh, and unrelenting. But here's the record that might be the most psychologically brutal of all. Tiger Woods spent 683 weeks as the world's #1 ranked player, more than 13 years at the absolute peak of the sport. He held that spot for so long it almost became the expected order of golf itself. For Charlie to break that record, he would need to reach #1 quickly, and then hold it for over a decade, while fending off challenges from players like Scottie Scheffler, Rory McIlroy, and an entire generation of elite international talent. The mental pressure of staying at the top for that long, with a target on your back for 13 years, is something Charlie can't fully grasp yet. What makes Charlie's situation even more complicated and tragic is that he can't just be good. He can't even just be great. To avoid being labeled a disappointment, he needs to be historically dominant in a way almost no athlete in any sport has ever achieved. Anything less than matching his father's records will be framed as failure, no matter how objectively successful his career might become. Think about that pressure for a moment. Most professional golfers would consider a career with 5 PGA Tour wins a huge success. But if Charlie Woods retires with just 5 wins, he'll be remembered as the son who couldn't live up to his father's legacy, the player who disappointed, the talent who never reached his potential. It's not fair, but it's the reality of carrying the Woods name. The hardest part? Charlie didn't choose any of this. He was born into it. Recently, Charlie did something at a junior tournament that has the entire golf world rethinking pressure, expectations, and what it truly means to carry one of the most famous names in sports. This wasn't about winning or losing. It wasn't about perfect scores or highlight reel shots. It was about a single decision Charlie made that revealed more about who he is as a person and as a player than any trophy ever could. What actually happened to make veterans and analysts completely rethink everything? Why are people who've known Tiger for decades saying they never saw this coming? And how did one single moment reveal the impossible weight Charlie has been carrying since before he could even spell his own name? The reality Charlie Woods faces every time he steps on a golf course is brutal. He isn't just another talented junior trying to earn college scholarships or build a resume. He's Tiger Woods' son, which means every swing is compared to one of the greatest golfers of all time. Every tournament result is dissected through the lens of whether he's living up to his father's legacy. Every shot is watched not just by people hoping he succeeds, but by those waiting to see if he'll crack under pressure no teenager should bear. The junior golf circuit is tough enough on its own. These tournaments pit hundreds of talented kids against each other, all fighting for rankings, recognition, and opportunities to reach elite college programs or professional careers. The competition is fierce, the pressure is constant, and the margin between success and failure is razor thin. Charlie doesn't have the luxury of being just another kid on the junior golf circuit. His last name opens every door, but it also makes every door harder to walk through. He carries a father whose career accomplishments are so extraordinary that even matching a fraction of them would feel like failure to people who don't truly understand how rare greatness is. On top of that, the spotlight has been on him since before he could even understand what it meant to tee a recent junior invitational. All of that pressure came into sharp focus. Charlie was competing in a tournament where he was expected to contend, where his name alone drew media attention and spectators who wouldn't normally watch junior golf. The pressure wasn't about his actual play. It was about who everyone expected him to be. And then Charlie made a move nobody saw coming. Instead of grinding through the pressure or trying to meet everyone else's expectations, he stepped back. Not because he couldn't compete, not because his game wasn't ready, but because he recognized that the environment had become more about managing everyone else's expectations than about playing golf in a way that felt true to him. Charlie's decision shocked people because it went against the story everyone had built around him. The assumption has always been that he would follow his father's path, that he would embrace the pressure and thrive under it the way Tiger did. But what Charlie did was arguably harder and far more mature than simply winning a tournament. He chose to prioritize his own mental health and his authentic relationship with golf over meeting everyone else's expectations that he understood that sometimes the bravest thing an athlete can do isn't pushing through at all costs, but recognizing when the circumstances aren't helping their growth and choosing a different path. The immediate reactions were mixed, and they revealed a lot about how people view young athletes, especially those tied to legendary parents. Some praised Charlie for showing maturity beyond his years, for understanding that his worth isn't defined by junior tournament results, and that protecting his love for the game matters more than pleasing people he'll never meet. Others criticized him, calling the decision soft or entitled, arguing that champions push through discomfort and that stepping back shows a lack of competitive fire. But both perspectives missed the real point. Charlie Woods is a teenager trying to figure out who he is, as a golfer and as a person, while under scrutiny that would crush most adults. This moment isn't about winning or losing. It's about a young athlete taking control of his own journey in the face of extraordinary pressure. Charlie's choice to step back wasn't about avoiding competition. It was about refusing to let other people's expectations control how he experiences golf and what success truly means to him. People who've worked with elite junior golfers immediately recognized something different in his decision. They saw a kid developing self-awareness and agency in an environment designed to strip both away. At the highest levels, junior golf can become less about playing and more about pleasing coaches, impressing parents, impressing scouts, or hitting ranking targets. The pure joy of the game can get buried under all that pressure. By recognizing that dynamic and consciously stepping away, even if only temporarily, Charlie is building tools that will benefit him far more in the long run than any junior tournament win ever could. The harsh truth is that most junior golf phenoms never make it professionally, not because of talent, but because years of relentless pressure lead to mental burnout long before they reach the adult stage. What makes Charlie's situation so unique is that he doesn't need golf for financial security or opportunity. Tiger's success has already guaranteed that Charlie will have choices no matter whether he ever plays professionally. That freedom should, in theory, make it easier for him to play for the right reasons. But it also removes some of the external motivators that push other junior players. When you're not chasing scholarships or trying to escape difficult circumstances through sports, the only reason to endure intense pressure is because you truly love the game and the competition. That's exactly what Charlie seems to be exploring. Does he love golf enough to handle everything that comes with being Tiger Woods' son? Does competitive golf genuinely bring him joy? Or has it become mostly about managing everyone else's expectations and defending a legacy he never asked for? These are profound questions most teenagers never face, but Charlie has been living them since he first picked up a club. The veteran players and analysts who said they never saw this coming are revealing their own assumptions about what Charlie should want and how he should handle pressure. They assumed he would be built differently, that he would naturally embrace the weight of the Woods name and thrive under expectations that would break most adults.